What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a review of our 2020 vacation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell to get notified when videos come out, and go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. We just got back today, actually. We took a 5-6 day vacation to the Dallas Arlington area, and it was probably one of the best trips that we've had all year long. Aside from the fact of it being Christmas and all the Christmas stuff that had going on, that was pretty crazy. We had 3 different Christmases. The baby had 3 Christmases. So that was pretty cool for him. Our first day was probably our best day because of the weather. It was really, really nice outside. It was about 70 degrees. Wind wasn't blowing too hard. But it was just overall, it was just beautiful outside. It's a great day to be at the park. And the way things were going at the park, they seemed to be going really well. They were still doing Holiday in the Park. Because they do that until like the first week of January too. So they were still doing it. They didn't really do the Santa Claus tree lighting ceremony like they did before Christmas. But being the fact that Christmas was already over, it kind of, makes sense. But the Christmas lights were still up and all the other amenities were still there. The Mystic Acres Trail was really, really good. That was really fun. Rather than having holiday type of theming, where I know before Christmas they had I think when you went up there they had an ice princess and some other characters there. But now they have the Disney characters like Sylvester, Tweety Bird, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, stuff like that. So if you guys are going anytime and you want to meet those characters, they have them kind of in a fenced area. And it's really good for the kids to, if they like Looney Tunes, going to see those Looney Tune characters. You won't be able to physically touch the Looney Tune characters, but you can still get some pretty decent pictures with the Looney Tune characters. Tweety Bird let Asher touch him, give him a 5 and stuff. But I mean, Asher's only a year old, so it's not like he was giving him a hug and, sneezing and coughing on him or anything. But there is that. He had the most fun with all the rides that are there. The drop tower, we were a little nervous about him getting on it with it being so high and going down. If it was going to freak him out or, because we kind of didn't want to tear him away from exciting rides. But he saw it and he really liked it. So we put him on it and we ended up riding that ride more than any ride in the park with him. We rode the antique cars every day we were there. We were there for 3 days. We rode the antique cars day and night, all 3 days. So we played the safe card and just left that morning. Came home early before all the heavy rain started hitting because not really afraid of driving in the rain, but driving in the rain in Dallas traffic with a bunch of brain deads, it's not really what I have in mind for a good time, for a thrilling ride. So we left about 8:30, and we made it home finally about a little before noon. Took us about an hour to get out of Dallas because of the traffic and the rain and stuff, but it was a pretty good call. But we did 3 days at Over Texas. The presentation was really good. Like I said, they didn't add anything crazy, anything new, with the exception of the Disney characters. That was something that they didn't have before. They're still doing s'mores, roasted marshmallows. They did add the Scottish Christmas, which is the bagpipes, which Asher really enjoyed. I thought was pretty cool too myself. And then there was the chainsaw ice guy who was carving ice with a chainsaw. So that was pretty entertaining to watch. They did have a couple of shows like music people playing and stuff like that. So they still has a lot of the cool stuff going on, which I'm assuming they're going to continue into 2021 and normal day of operations if it's allowed. Like it basically depends on how many people are going to be going to the parks. This time of the year, beginning of January, it's really a bad time for amusement parks. Usually they close. But Six Flags is going to stay open, but I have a feeling they're probably going to end up closing because not a lot of people want to be going riding roller coasters when it's just cold. It's just you're not going to take your kids in the bitter cold because you don't want them getting sick. You don't want to make a 2.5 hour drive to go stand in the cold weather. It's just not ideal, you know. Maybe some of your hardcore enthusiasts or hardcore roller coaster people would go just to ride, but aside from that, I really don't see much happening there with that. But like I said, it really just depends on the weather. That's a lot of how everything at Six Flags and any of these amusement park chains, it really depends on how it is outside. If it's like cold and rainy, you're going to have a really bad day. If it's sun and beautiful, or even if it's hot, it's not going to matter. If it's sunshine outside, you're going to have a good day. And anytime that it gets cold and raining, it turns into a bad day really, really fast. Um, so with January and February in the South seems to be pretty wet and pretty annoying for a period of time. So the next couple of months will probably be really sketchy. Something I like to call the off season, so to speak. Once spring starts up in about March or April, we'll start seeing an uptick in revenue with amusement parks and stuff like that. And I think Six Flags could really use the downtime. I know they can't really afford the downtime, but I think overall, if they were to just like open on the weekends only, it would probably be safer than opening, all month long. Uh, just simply because, like I said, it's going to be cold. You stay open for a couple of days a week, and it gives you some downtime to be able to, manage your park and keep up your rides and being able to do other things like that. They were gonna have a fireworks show on New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, because of the weather, they had to postpone it. I do believe they're doing it on Saturday, tomorrow night, to make up for it. So that's a good thing. This is the first fireworks show that I think that I've ever seen come to Six Flags Over Texas. The only fireworks show we've ever seen has been at Fiesta, Texas in San Antonio. And we've been going to those all year long. They had one last night. They actually broadcasted it on the news there in San Antonio. So that was pretty cool. But overall, our visit at Six Flags was very enjoyable. Six Flags can't really help the weather, but everything else in general was pretty cool. I think that the attendees escorting the Disney character, or not Disney, the Looney Tune characters out of their area and back to their dressing room so they can kind of take a break or whatever, they can be a little bit rude, like get out of my way type of thing. If I had known that she had said that to her, I probably would have, said something that's against YouTube's terms of service, but it definitely would have been said. Because you're not going to talk crazy to anybody that I know, especially her. So, just be aware of that. Like Asher was trying to see, I think it was Bugs Bunny or whatever. He was trying to wave to Bugs Bunny, and Megan had him, and she was told her to get the hell out of the way, type of thing. So that was unprofessional. But aside from that, there really wasn't any negative things that I could really say about any of the experience at Over Texas. We did have some rain there, which was really good because it was a little bit of rain, but not a lot. It was a little bit of rain, which a little bit of rain is fine when you go to a Six Flags park, depending on which one, because if you have an RMC, it makes the track wet and it makes the ride way more fun. And so we got that. Like, it started raining earlier that day. I got on the ride with wet tracks and it was awesome. And then later that night it started raining again, so I got to ride Texas Giant at night on wet track, and that's an amazing ride. So that was great. So yeah, a lot of cool things going on at Ober Texas, and I'm really, really impressed with the improvements that the parks have made in the last few months. We've been going to this park all year, and this year alone, it's probably been the biggest change that I've seen in the last few months. This park has ran better the last couple, 2, 3 months than it has all year. So big shout out to Ron McKenzie for actually doing a great job and upkeeping this park the way it should be. I think we have a lot of positive things in the future towards this park, and I think everyone's looking forward to the direction, the way the park is going, the way it's being managed, and I think we're really excited to see more positive changes coming in the future. Our final day, we went to Grapevine, Texas. We went to Grapevine Mills Mall there in Grapevine, Texas. We did a lot. We went to the Sea Life Aquarium. We went to the Build-A-Bear Workshop. We went looking around a lot of the stores and the Disney store and stuff. Then we went to the Round 1 Bowling and Amusement Park, which is kind of like a bowling / darts and pool, and they have a 2-story arcade, and there's just any kind of games that you could ever want to play is in that fucking place. And Asher had the time of his life playing Dance Revolution in there. He loved it, and he had so much fun that day with the games, which is kind of good that we saved it for last. We knew it was going to be rainy on that day and cold. We could have went to the park on that day, but it was just too cold, and I didn't want him getting sick, and he had a cough and a cold anyway, so it was just best to just stay indoors that day and kind of just chill out in the mall. And so that's what we did, and he had a blast. When we left, the only stuffed animal he had is the Mickey Mouse and Goofy that we brought with us. When we came back, we had about 8 other stuffed animals that he had won in games at Six Flags. Megan got him like 3 different stuffed animals out of the little claw machines there at the arcade. So he ended up having a bunch of stuffed animals. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll be able to see the pictures of all the stuffed animals. We call them his trophies. So and he got quite a bit. He did great. But he had fun. And when he had a lot of fun at the mall, walking around and playing and going to the arcade and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And I think it was a really good experience for both him and us as to watching him create his own, bear and stuff. So that was different. But yeah, it was probably the best trip we've had all year. Given the fact that we were really only doing like vacation stuff for 4 days, it was still really fun. It was pretty tiring walking around the same park, not gonna lie. But we were there to have fun with him, and he was having fun, so it kind of didn't really make that big of a difference. As long as he was happy and having fun, that's all that really mattered. And the fact that we were there with him meant everything to him, and seeing him smile meant everything to us. So, but yeah, it's a vacation. If I had to rate that vacation, I'd say about a good fat whopping 10 out of 10, man. It was great. It was fun. It was great. It was exhausting, and it was a little bit pricey at the mall, but it was definitely worth it in the end. I think we ended up spending about $250 at the mall when we went, but we don't ever do that. We don't ever just go out and do stuff with him like that very often, like Build-A-Bear and stuff at the mall indoors. So we wanted to kind of just take advantage of the fact that we're really not going to take a big trip again for a while. So we kind of want to take advantage of it. So that's what we did. But yeah, man, it was a great trip. We really enjoyed ourselves. It felt good, being able to drive 2.5 hours and have as much fun as if we were to drive 7 hours. I'm just really glad that we didn't go to San Antonio and have that long drive back home, because that would have been excruciating. So, but that's going to do it for this one, man. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right.